Hey guys, I'm Naya and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I decided we're gonna be covering the Splight archetype that's been sort of running wild for the last couple of days in the OCG since Power of the Elements officially got released over there. We will not be getting the set for a couple months, but the archetype has been just doing incredibly well and taking the entire metagame by storm. So I figured why not cover it, the basics, a couple combos, how it's going to sort of translate here to the TCG as well, a couple archetypes older, the ones that we already know and are familiarized with, how they are going to work together with Splight. We're gonna cover all of that. So please let me know down in the comments what you think, if the archetype interests you, if you will maybe be picking it up, which archetype you will want to sort of combo together with the Splight archetype as well. And also I would like to encourage you to subscribe. A lot of you are still not subscribed yet and I would love for you to be part of this community. So with all of that being said, we can go ahead and get started. First off, we're gonna cover the actual cards. So Splight is a Thunder archetype and it's revolving around summoning level, rank, or link to monsters. You are also locked into these monsters, as is your opponent, but we're gonna get to that. First off, we have two searchers, and one of them is Splight Blue, and then we have Splight Jet. And every single Splight has the effect to be special summoned only once through that procedure, once per turn, if you control a level 2 or rank 2 monster, and some other have a restriction to only be special summoned if you control a level 2 or link 2 monsters. As for the searchers, we have the blue and we have the jet. Basically, when the Splight Blue monster is special summoned, you can search for their monster. And when jet is special summoned, you can search for their spell and trap. So essentially what you will want to do is special summon blue, search for jet, special summon jet, search for the spell, because they have spell cards as well. Then we have Splight Pixies, which is a hand trap basically, but it can also be sent to the graveyard from the field to activate its effect or pitched from the hand. Basically, if your level, rank, or link to monster battles an opponent's monster, it will gain the attack and defense equal to the battling monster's attack until the end of the turn. And then we also have two negators. We have Splight Carrot and also Splight Red, and these are the ones I mentioned before. Their restriction is to only be able to be special summoned if you control a level or link 2 monster. And for their effect negation to go through, you would need to tribute another level, rank 2, or link 2 monster and then negate the activation of either a monster card or effect when it comes to the Splight Red, or when it comes to the Splight Carrot, the activation of a card or an effect of spell and trap cards. And then they also have an additional part of the effect which says that if you attributed a link 2 or a rank 2 monster, so not a level 2, to negate, you would also be able to destroy the monster spell or trap. Then we have two extra deck monsters as well. The first one is going to be Link, and it's a Splight Elf. And basically it says that you can use a link 2, rank 2, or actually you need to use a link 2, rank 2, or level 2 monster, including another monster to be able to special summon it, since it's a link 2 monster, and it cannot be used as material for a link summon the turn it is summoned. And it also grants a similar protection. We can draw a parallel to Simorgh, which got banned. So maybe that's a bad comparison, but basically it protects the monsters in its pointers. Your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to with card effects. This is the sort of comparison. And then it has a quick effect only during the main phase that you can special summon a level 2 monster from your graveyard. And if your opponent controls a monster at that activation, you can also summon a link 2 or rank 2 monster instead. And you can only use this effect once per turn. And it is also a quick effect, which is very important. And then we also have an XYZ, and this XYZ is pretty much what makes the deck. In itself, the archetype is busted. As you can see, you have the searchers, you have the negators. Everything seems just so free with the special summons, with the synergy it has with other archetypes we are also going to be mentioning. But then you come to the Xyz. And basically, the Xyz can be Xyz summoned by also using a link 2 monster. So since it is a rank 2, you would naturally need 2 level 2 monsters, but you can, in this case, also use link 2 monsters as level 2 monsters. So you could go into pretty much anything, since link 2 monsters are pretty much almost the most busted monsters of the game, I would say, when it comes to link monsters, of course. Like, the link 2s usually are the best ones. So you can go into pretty much anything and then use it for the XYZ summon of this card. And basically the effect is that you can detach a material from this card, but you must detach it in order to for the effect to go through. So if this card gets ogred, for example, you are not able to detach, your effect will not go through. Since it's not cost, it's part of the effect. And what the effect actually is during your main phase, you can detach one material from this. You can activate this effect, I should say. This is the only thing that before the semicolon. So you can activate this effect. You can detach an exist material from this card and special summon a level 2 monster from your deck. But the most important part of this effect is that by using this effect, you lock yourself and also your opponent into only being able to special summon level, link, or rank 2 monsters until the end of the turn. So this is insane when you think about it, because you lock your opponent out of summoning Nibiru and also using Gamma, since it would need to special summon Driver as well, which obviously is not a level 2 monster. So the entire effect basically locks you, detaches a material, special summons a monster. And if you noticed, it's only a level 2 monster. It's not Splight, it's not anything specific, it's just level 2. And the combination of plays you get off of that is just, it's incredible. The things you can do are just insane. And also this effect comes into play because if this card has a Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Link monster as material, its original attack is doubled. And then we have 3 spell cards as well. The first one is Splight Starter, which is in my opinion the best one. Basically, it's a quick play spell card. You special summon a Splight monster from your deck, also lose life points equal to its attack, and then you're locked into level, rank, or link 2 monsters until the end of the turn, and you can only activate one of this card's name per turn. And the other 2 are also quick play spell cards, fun fact. The next one is going to be Splight Gamma Burst, and basically what it does is all of your monsters gain 1400 attack and defense until the end of the turn if you activate it on the field, and if you banish it from the graveyard, which can be only used during the main phase, as a lot of these effects are, basically you can target one monster linked to level 2 or rank 2 and boost its attack points by 1400 until the end of the opponent's turn. And you are also locked into using only one effect of the card's name per turn, so it's sort of like BA monsters, for example, only once and only one. And then the last one is Splight Smashers, and you will need to banish a Springen's Therians or Splight card from your hand or graveyard to be able to activate one of these effects. So it works together with those decks as well, and the effects are the ones that you can choose from which you want to activate. It would be to special summon a Springen's monster from your deck, or a Therian's monster from your graveyard, or you can banish one level, rank, or link 2 monster you control and one card your opponent controls, and it's non-targeting. Alright, now that we have covered all of that, I have 2 of Road to the King deck lists from the last metagame report that did well in the OCG, and we basically have Splight together with Frogs and Splight together with Evil Twins. So we will quickly go over the lists and talk about a little bit of the synergy and stuff, and then we're gonna go through a couple combos. Yeah, we have a couple more things to discuss. So if you're still watching, make sure to like the video, and I appreciate you a lot that you're still sticking around. And yeah, let's go. Basically, the Frogs are incredible. All of them are level 2, and you can summon Toad out very easily, and also with the XYZ, being able to special summon a level 2 monster from the deck, which you can then bounce with Swap Frog, since it has the effect to bounce a monster, not a frog, not itself, a monster from field to hand, to be able to have another normal summon for the turn for Frogs. And then you basically can bounce whichever level 2 monster you want to summon out with the XYZ. So looking at the OCG, obviously they play Max C, which is the level 2 monster. We don't have it. However, you can special summon over here, you can special summon out Gamma. So you can special out Gamma, or you can special summon it out through Hulky Fibrax, which can also be used if you play a tuner. We're gonna go through the combos, a couple of them, and I will explain all of that, but you can special summon it out, you can bounce it, and then you can make Lambda so you have Gamma live. But looking at the OCG now, obviously they have Max C, so this is a way to bring out Max C and also bounce it. to your hand. But we see here the Splight blue, we see the jet, the red, and also the carrot. They're not playing the pixie. It's kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't seem maybe worth it at first glance, but this can change, of course. And they're also not playing the one of the quick play spell cards, the one that boosts the attack and does all of that. So just the non-targeting banish and then the sort of starter extender, however you want to look at it. It's a 1-card combo basically with the Splight starter, and yeah, the name is very it fits it obviously. So yeah, then you have the little frog engine. You only need 3 swaps and then 1 Ronin, and the dupe, obviously you would recycle the Ronin and get the dupe out through Totally Awesome in the standby phase. And then you have the hand traps as well, since you have a lot of space. Looking at the extra deck, we have Entis, we have the XYZ, Toad, Cat Shark, which is also very nice, and then we have the Sky Cavalry together with the entire Zeus package. We see the Link we discussed before, and also Hulky Fibrax, like I mentioned, and then just a couple of generic stuff. And then moving on to the Evo Twin version, basically. Evo Twins are also level 2. So essentially, as you will be able to see in the combo, what you can achieve with the frog stuff, you can also achieve with the Evo Twin stuff, because you just need to get to level 2s. So when it comes to the frog stuff, if you get to something like Diva, for example, and special summon out another Diva, Deep Sea Diva, then with Evo Twin, you will also go, you know, normal summon one of the colors, summon out the other one, and go through your plays that way, because the Link special summons a level 2 monster from the graveyard, as we mentioned before, during the main phase. So when it comes to the frog deck, you would special summon out Swap, start using the effect, do everything that you want to do. But with the Evo Twin variant, you can special summon out an Evo Twin, use the color, special summon the other color, and then you have both of the Link 2s, because you are locked, but you are only locked into Link 2s. And obviously the Evo Twins, you don't exactly go into Trouble Sunny, but they still achieve something. So it's a nice synergy there as well. Plus the Evo Twins over here, as we can see in the deck list, they play Scythe. You can easily trigger Dagda, you have Scythe, and obviously we don't know what's going to happen on the ban list when it comes to Scythe, Dagda, and also Hulky Fibrax. But you know, so we can still discuss it a bit. Basically, here you can see Dagda, you can see the Trouble Sunny. Obviously, you don't make it at first, but you have ways of doing it. And then also IP. IP is a monster I think we need to mention separately, because if you are locked and you only make IP, you have all sorts of plays on the following turn, so during your opponent's turn, and basically you just play and react to your opponent's plays. And I think this deck is also so great when it comes to that, because you can legit do whatever you want depending on how your opponent plays out their turn. So when it comes to something like Hulky Fibrax, basically you can go into so many things. Hulky Fibrax obviously goes into Cupid Pitch, goes into sorry, what's it called? The TG Wonder Magician to be able to pop Scythe. You have Shooting Riser, you have Baron de Fleur, you have just a lot of synchros that you can get out on the following turn when you are not locked anymore. So this is just food for thought, I guess. You can honestly do whatever if you want to test this deck out right now. Like I said, it's still going to take some time before it comes to the TCG, but just a couple of things to I guess keep in mind. And then a funny thing I wanted to quickly mention, it's insane to me how the market wildly reacted to all of the things that Splight did in the OCG. Like looking at how much more Toad and Swap Frog, Cat Shark, like all of that is now worth, it's insane. It just shot up in price. And also looking at card market here in Europe, it's also quite expensive. And then something like Swap Frog, like it legit became so expensive compared to what it used to be. You know, it just went up a couple dollars. And also Toad was actually sold out, like, I don't know, yesterday or a couple hours ago. Yeah, it's just something I wanted to mention. I think it's so funny when things like this happens. But yeah, obviously things are going to settle down, and I'm pretty sure we should be seeing some reprints before the set actually drops, because something like Cat Shark, which only has 1 printing, is incredibly expensive right now. And not to mention Evo Twin Link 2s, they are quite expensive, you know, for a deck that's not exactly as competitive, but yeah, some stuff is expensive. Hopefully we see some reprints and some stuff becomes more accessible when we're actually trying to, you know, pick up all of these cards. However, if you don't see that happening, I would highly suggest to just grab a couple things now, and then you're ready when the set actually drops. Alright, so then I figured we would just go through a couple combos, basically, so you get a little bit of an idea what Splight does. And yeah, both of these cards are actually going to be different combos we're gonna go through. So if you use Splight Starter, which is a 1-card combo, for example, you will go Splight Starter effect and you special summon out Splight Blue, activate the blue effect, and you would also need to take damage. And then you activate the blue effect, you will go search out Jet, and then Jet can special summon itself, use the effect on summon, and over here you will probably go for another starter just because it's a quick play spell, so you can use it during your opponent's turn. You can special summon out one of the negators, which is pretty much free. So you would overlay into their into their XYZ. Also use the effect. Now you are locked. Also your opponent is locked. Obviously you didn't play into Nibiru yet, so you are completely safe. You can special summon out Swap Frog, and since it was summoned, you would activate the effect. You can dump Ronin Totem, and then link both of these off into their link 2. And then the link 2 effect to be able to revive Swap Frog again. Use Swap Frog again. Over here, you just want to summon it in the pointer, so it's free from something like Imperm. Obviously, they would probably do it before, but you can never know, so might as well be safe. You can mill another Swap Frog because you want to keep the dupe to be able to special summon it during the standby phase. Then you will go Ronin Totem effect, banish to revive itself. And then you make a toad. It's very simple, it's very basic, but I mentioned before that the link is a quick effect. And what this does is basically when you use toad effect, since it's not a hard once per turn, you can revive it again during your opponent's turn if they control a monster. Like we said at activation, they need to control a monster for you to be able to special summon a rank or link 2 monster instead of just level 2. So you would use the effect. We're gonna do it like that. So you set, you pass, right? And during the opponent's turn, standby phase, you would use the effect and then special summon out dupe, so you're also protected in the battle phase. You can also use this to be able to special summon out a negate. A monster negate is very generic, and then you would just tribute off the link for the red effect. So when you use Toad, you can either use itself and then revive it back to be able to use it one more time. You can tribute the dupe. You can just do whatever and also get water back to your hand. So you have a resource again. And yeah, this is the first basic combo. All right, and then we're just going to do one more combo to show you what you can do with more than one card. So we're going to go normal summon Diva, use Diva, and then we're going to special summon another Diva out. Special summon Blue. Use blue effect and get the Jet from deck to hand. Special summon our Jet, use Jet effect, and we're gonna go for the starter. So we're in this point right now, and we can go into Hulky Fibrex because this is a tuner. So with Hulky Fibrex, you can special summon out basically anything you want because you're gonna be able to bounce it with Swap Frog later on. So if you want something like Ash, for example, you would special summon out the Ash, and then you could go with these two into the XYZ, or you can use the Fiber actually, since the Link 2 is treated as a level 2, so you can overlay these two and go into the XYZ that way because it gains its original attack is doubled. Basically, it gains its attack one more time. So you have this, and then you can use the effect. You can detach, special summon out Swap Frog, and make sure to detach something else, not the Fiber, because it says that if it has the Fiber as material, so a Link 2 fusion, whatever, it gains the attacks. So basically, if you detach this one, it's not going to have the double attack stats. So make sure to keep that in mind. So you would special summon out Swap, use Swap effect, mill a Ronin Totem to grave. And then in this point, you would use swap, bounce back the ash. So effectively, you have the ash back in hand. And if you want, you can get out something like gamma with fiber, bounce back the gamma, and also make lambda in the process, because you have enough monsters to be able to have that as well. So with these two, we can go into the link, use link effect, revive swap frog one more time, and mill another swap frog. So our Ronin totem is live. We can use Ronin totem effect, banish this, special summon itself, and then you have the toad. So right here, you have the toad, and you have the negate. So you can use the negate, do everything like we said before, basically revive it, have the negate again. However, if you have the gamma that you maybe bounce back and you maybe want to go for the lambda, you can also use Splight starter as an additional body to be able to go into lambda that way. Or you can just set it, use it for the opponent's turn, whatever you want. But what I wanted to showcase is that you can bounce pretty much anything you want in that scenario. And yeah, that would pretty much be it. This was only the introduction. We went over the cards, what it's doing in the OCG, some implications for the TCG, what it's doing to the TCG market, a couple basic stuff and combos. However, I will be getting more in depth if you want. You know, of course, I will cover more stuff also when when its release date is approaching, sooner, whenever. Just let me know if you would like me to make that kind of content. I'm very excited for this deck, and I honestly cannot wait to see what it does, how it translates to the TCG, and also make sure to let me know down in the comments what you think might happen. So with all of that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, also give me a sub, check out all of the social media, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!